Today we're going to talk about something that a lot of people experience but might not totally understand, the anxiety rash. You know, that weird moment when how you feel on the inside suddenly decides to show up on your skin. So yeah, let's get into it.
You know that feeling? You're getting ready for something big, maybe a job interview, or you're just having a really stressful day, and then, boom, out of nowhere, you start feeling itchy. Well, I'm here to tell you it is absolutely not in your head. That sensation is a real physical thing, and it's got a name.
All right, so let's get right down to it. What in the world is this unexplained, super annoying itch that always seems to pop up at the worst possible time?
An anxiety rash is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's a skin reaction. It can look like hives, maybe some little bumps, that's triggered by what's going on inside your head, specifically high levels of stress or anxiety. And here's the most important part. It's not because of something you ate or a new lotion you tried. The trigger is an inside job.
So how do you know if that's what you're dealing with? Well, you're looking for skin that's itchy or just feels irritated. You might see some small bumps or even those raised welts we call hives. But the biggest clue, the real giveaway, is the timing. It shows up when you feel completely overwhelmed, and then, just as mysteriously, it fades away when you start to calm down. And you've already ruled out all the usual suspects, right? No new soaps, no weird food, nothing.
And here's a little bit of good news for you. As maddening as this rash can be, it usually doesn't overstay its welcome. Typically, a rash caused by stress is going to clear up all by itself in about 24 hours. So if this is happening to you, just take a breath. It is temporary.
Okay, so we've covered the what, but what about the why? Why on earth does our skin react like this? This is where we get into the science of it, and trust me, it's a pretty fascinating chain reaction happening inside your body.
So here's how it all goes down. It all starts with a stress trigger. Your brain senses danger, and it really doesn't care if that danger is a lion or just an overflowing email inbox. That flips the switch on your body's internal alarm system. And then, in a weird case of mistaken identity, your body unleashes histamine. Yep, the exact same chemical that fights off pollen during allergy season. That histamine causes inflammation, and that's what you see on your skin as a red, itchy rash.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. This isn't some wild theory. As this quote from Medical News Today points out, this connection is well documented. What's happening in your mind, your anxiety, is directly triggering a chemical response that has a very real, very physical impact on your body.
Now hold on. Before you start blaming every single itch on your stress levels, it's really important that we play detective for a minute. How can you be sure that anxiety is the real culprit here?
Let's break down the key differences. An anxiety rash, as we've said, shows up with stress and usually disappears pretty quickly. Other rashes, though, they have more obvious triggers, right? Like a food allergy, or they're part of a bigger picture, like a fever that comes with chickenpox. And unlike a chronic thing like eczema, which often shows up in the same spots, an anxiety rash can kind of pop up anywhere.
Okay, we get the problem. Now let's move on to the most important part. What can we actually do about it? Let's look at this as a two-part toolkit. One for getting relief right now, and one for long-term recovery.
I want you to think about it like this. The short-term stuff is like grabbing a fire extinguisher. It puts out the immediate flames, right? It stops the itch. But the long-term solutions, that's like fireproofing the whole building. It's all about tackling the root cause, the anxiety, to stop the fires from even starting. You absolutely need both. For that, oh my gosh, I need to stop itching right now moment, these are your go-tos. A simple cold compress can feel amazing. You can also grab an over-the-counter antihistamine to fight back against that histamine we talked about. A topical cream like hydrocortisone can help with the inflammation. And I know it's hard, but whatever you do, try your best not to scratch.
All right, now for the big picture stuff. If you really want to stop the rash for good, you've got to manage the anxiety itself. That means getting to the source. Things like psychotherapy, especially cognitive behavioral therapy or CBT, can teach you how to reframe those anxious thoughts. For some people, medications can help regulate the body's chemistry. Really, the ultimate goal is to build up your own personal toolbox of coping skills so you're ready when stress inevitably hits.
And that brings us to the ultimate goal, right? Prevention. How can we set up our daily lives to keep both our minds and our skin feeling calm and healthy? Now, these are the foundational habits. These aren't quick fixes. They're the lifestyle adjustments that really build up your resilience to stress over time. You know this stuff. Regular exercise, good sleep, eating well, they are so powerful. And adding in a practice like meditation or yoga can literally train your brain to respond to stress in a calmer way. And what about those moments when you can feel that anxiety starting to bubble up? Here are some amazing in-the-moment tools you can use. Grounding techniques are designed to break that anxiety cycle before it spirals. The 3-3-3 rule, for example, is so simple but so effective. You just pause and name 3 things you can see around you, then 3 things you can hear, and then move 3 parts of your body, like your fingers, your toes, your shoulders. It's a simple little trick that yanks your focus out of your anxious thoughts and back into the present moment.
So if you only remember one thing from all of this, let it be this. While the creams and the cold compresses are great for the symptom, they don't solve the actual problem. The single most effective way to treat an anxiety rash has almost nothing to do with your skin. It has everything to do with managing your mind.
So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question to chew on. Thinking about everything we just talked about, what is one small, totally doable step you can add to your routine, maybe even starting today, that could help your body handle stress just a little bit better? Because that one small step, that's where taking back control really begins.